You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, Pittsburgh police investigate a drowning that happened at the YMCA.
And another mass shooting took place in the country, this time at a high school graduation in Virginia.
And we've got ourselves another hot and muggy day across the area with another possible round of pop-up thunderstorms. We'll take a look at that forecast coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Tragedy at the Pittsburgh YMCA. Police say a man has died after he was found unresponsive in the YMCA pool. Pittsburgh PD is not yet releasing the name of the victim. Emergency workers were called to the YMCA around 7:50 this morning. YMCA personnel had already begun resuscitation efforts before first responders arrived. A crew rushed the patient to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Authorities are investigating but say there is no indication of foul play. The Pittsburgh YMCA sent a statement to its members yesterday that said in part, "Our entire Y family is deeply saddened by this situation. Our thoughts and prayers remain with this young man, his family and friends, as well as those who came to his aid." The statement from CEO Sarah Vaca goes on to say, quote, "Making sure all children and adults are safe in the pool is a top priority. We're conducting an internal review to learn the facts about what happened in this incident. We will use the findings of this review to ensure our water safety measures align with best-in-class practices in order to prevent an incident like this from happening again." A Joplin chiropractor is facing federal child pornography charges. According to the Department of Justice, Eric Heedman is charged with a single count of receiving and distributing child porn. The crime allegedly happened last year. A federal grand jury indicted him on May 24th. The indictment was unsealed after Heedman was arrested and appeared in court. And a Tennessee man is sentenced for the murder of a teen in Crawford County, Kansas. Byron Baker was accused of second-degree murder and possession of stolen property, and he was sentenced to almost 14 years in prison for a homicide in Pittsburgh in October of 2021. The victim, 18-year-old Jace DeLeach of Pittsburgh. Authorities say she was found dead in an apartment after a caller said they found the door open and saw her on the floor. Byron Baker will serve 36 months probation after his sentence. Joplin police arrest a man who they say stole a statue from outside the public library. Larry Hart of Joplin is now charged with felony stealing. He's accused of stealing a bronze statue of 2 small children reading a book. JPD says security camera video showed a man arrive outside the library, leave, and return. And that's when the man cut the statue from its ground mount with a saw. The man loaded the statue onto a dolly and wheeled it away. Joplin Health Department wants to remind you it operates a mosquito fogging program in the city. The city says it uses a pesticide that has a low toxicity to humans. Fog usually dissipates within 15 minutes of application. Fogging will be conducted in the early morning hours to minimize exposure. Folks are encouraged to stay indoors and not drive through areas where fog is visible after application. Residents who do not wish for their property to be fogged can contact the health department. Fogging routes will be posted on the health department page of the Joplin website.
Well, we've got another warm and muggy day for us today. More pop-up storms this afternoon. Yesterday, we saw the majority of them in southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma. Today, later in the afternoon, we're looking for more of them on the Missouri side. And that doesn't say that we can't get any out to the west, but we're expecting more of them off to the east in the Missouri side of things as we go through the afternoon. And as we've seen here lately, we could see a stray strong or severe thunderstorm with this activity. But tonight's or this afternoon's pop-up storm is expected to be considerably more isolated. Now, as we head into tomorrow, there's going to be 2 different factors playing out here. One, by tomorrow morning, we're looking at some scattered showers and thunderstorms, some cloud cover roughly along and to the east of Highway 69. Because of that, highs along and east of 69 aren't going to make it out of the lower 80s. But if you look back to northeast Oklahoma and points west, you can see we have plentiful sunshine, not getting in on that morning rain. So our western counties are going to see highs pushing near 90 before we eventually get additional thunderstorm development out west, and that'll start to bring those temperatures back down. And as you can see, this is not just pop-up thunderstorm activity. This is real meaningful rainfall out to the west. And because it's not pop-up storm activity, yeah, it will start to die out with the loss of daytime heating, but it'll last a little bit longer as well, which is great news because we really need some of that rain. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line. We're looking good as the sun comes on up out there. It's staying from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400 just south of Pittsburgh. Plentiful sunshine. Beautiful clear skies from our camera at 7th and range line in Joplin. We're at 64, dew point 60, humidity 87%. So like the last few mornings, it's a bit muggy. We also have a little bit of patchy fog out there. 61 in Stockton, Nevada, Fort Scott, 64 in Chanute, Miami, 65 Chatopa, and 63 in the Osho. As we get our morning started, we'll have a few clouds, partly cloudy by late morning, low 80s. We head into the afternoon, again, mainly on the Missouri side, some pop-up thunderstorms, otherwise partly cloudy, hot, highs right around 90 degrees. We head into this evening, storms die out, partly cloudy, mild evening with our overnight lows back into the upper 60s across the area. We'll have another full look at your forecast here in just a few more minutes. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, the nation rocked by yet another deadly mass shooting after a suspected gunman opened fire outside the scene of a high school graduation ceremony. Kevin Cork reports on the latest.
A high school graduation ceremony ending with a deadly mass shooting Tuesday evening. At least 7 people were shot outside of a theater on the campus of Virginia Commonwealth University, the site of Huguenot High School's graduation. As of Tuesday night, police say at least 2 of the 3 victims who sustained life-threatening injuries died. One of the deceased is an 18-year-old male who just graduated.
Is nothing sacred any longer?
Shots rang out around 5:15 p.m. shortly after the graduation ceremony ended, triggering fear among the hundreds of families celebrating their children's accomplishments.
People were having panic attacks, falling on the ground, screaming. One child was hit by a car, so this was a very chaotic scene.
Law enforcement first arrested 2 possible suspects, but upon further investigation,
One of the subjects was detained, was armed with a firearm, but we believe, based upon our investigation at this time, that he is uninvolved in the shooting itself. We have another individual who is in custody who is 19 years old, who we believe was involved.
Police believe the 19-year-old still in custody knew at least one of the victims.
We plan on seeking charges for second-degree murder ×2 for that individual, with more potential charges to follow.
Our kids can't take it, our teachers can't take it, our families can't take it anymore. I beg of you to stop.
Police are reviewing security footage from cameras at the scene. They're also asking anyone who may have captured the attack on their personal cameras to be sure to contact law enforcement. Up next, Emily Frankowski steps into our studio to tell us all about upcoming events happening at Connect to Culture, including a Beatles tribute band.
And later, we'll take another look at that hot and muggy forecast across the 4 states and tell you who's got the storm chances later this afternoon when we come back.
Welcome back. Joining me this morning, Emily Frankowski, here to talk about what's new with Connect to Culture.
Tons. There's so much going on. The summer months, you know, kids are out of school, but there's so much to do arts and culturally in Joplin. And Connect to Culture has some exciting performances. You know, we are winding down the official 22-23 season, but that doesn't mean we're going to stop our performances at the Cornell Complex. We've got literally 2 shows in June, and then every Saturday in July, we have outdoor performances. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's stay in June.
So we've been teasing this tribute to the Beatles.
Yes, so Britbeat Beatles tribute is going to be so much fun. They're going to go through the entire journey of the Beatles, you know, from inception to breakup. They've got 6 amazing costume changes.
Whoa.
They've got a immersive backdrop behind them, so there's a lot of multimedia influence within the show. And it's outside of the Cornell Complex, so it's going to be at the Leggett and Platt Green, an outdoor performance, barring Mother Nature is happy with us. So that's going to be June 17th. It's on a Saturday. And tickets are on sale now, so get those because they are going quickly. It's just a really fun environment being in the middle of downtown, you know, surrounded by the music. It's really going to transport you to Beatlemania. So get that on your calendar now. And then later, a flamenco 2-day event. We've got Alante Flamenco from Texas coming up, and they are going to do a workshop on June 23rd on a Friday. So you're going to learn a little bit about traditional flamenco music and dance. It is a musical genre. You'll learn about both the music that's incorporated in it, maybe how to dance a little bit on June 23rd, and then you'll come back the next night and you'll see the professionals dance on June 24th on a Saturday. And this is...
You'll want to be dancing in your seat.
You will. You might, I don't know, you might be getting up out of your seat and dancing yourself. So we're really excited about that. We got a grant from the Mid-America Arts Alliance and support from the National Endowment for the Arts to bring Alante Flamenco to Joplin. So it's a pretty big deal.
And the tickets for the workshop are really cheap.
They are. So if you already have a ticket to the performance, it's $3.
Wow.
And then if you can't make the performance and you want to go to the workshop, it's $6. So it's very affordable to, have that immersive experience. I was blessed that I could study abroad in Spain and I learned some traditional flamenco dancing. Cool. But a lot of people don't have that opportunity. So we wanted to bring Spain to Joplin and have a little immersive cultural experience.
Real quickly, what are some other events that people can find on your website?
Yeah, so we just released the entire summer camp and classes list for the arts and cultural realm. We also have glass night lights that are being created at Spiva Center for the Arts. Flying in and out of Joplin, a history of Joplin Airlines for the sesquicentennial events, and even a girls' night out where you'll learn how to do swing dancing with Ashley King and just have a all-girls night. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So much going on. If they go to connecttoculture.org, you'll learn about all of the June events, and you can even look into the future if you're planning for family coming to town. We have a lot for everyone to do.
That sounds like a great month of June for Connect to Culture.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much for coming in, Emily.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Well, Taylor Swift really got a mouthful while performing in Chicago.
As Jeannie Moose reports, the singer swallowed a flying insect, but she tried not to let it bug her.
The perils of performing at an outdoor stadium in Chicago.
We're so lucky to have her.
Something's amiss with Taylor Swift. Should someone do the Heimlich?
I swallowed a bug. I'm so sorry.
But Taylor swiftly managed to. She shook off ingesting the bug faster than she shook off her brief romance with pop rocker Maddie Healy. TMZ and People report it's over. Taylor was more bemused than bugged by what went down the hatch.
Oh, delicious.
Some fans were jealous. Oh, to be a bug swallowed by Taylor Swift. We've seen reporters and anchors swallow bugs and keep right on anchoring.
A national emergency has been invoked.
We've seen a bee make a beeline for the mouth of Ontario's premier.
It's coming from the health sector. Holy Christ. I just swallowed a bee.
At least Taylor kept her language clean and didn't try to fish out the bug with a finger. Nor did her face end up splattered with bug carcasses.
Oh, you can't beat the open road.
Like Jim Carrey's did, Taylor maintained a certain self-deprecating poise.
Is there any chance that none of you saw that?
Not only did fans see it, some saw it from the bug's point of view. Imagine you are just a bug living your life, then suddenly you are in Taylor Swift's stomach. Yeah, hoping for a little reflux. Jeannie Moose, CNN.
Oh, delicious.
New York.
A little extra protein.
I don't get it. Bugs have all this space to fly around, and yet they somehow manage to A, get stuck in your car, stuck in your house, or fly directly into your mouth or your face.
They're constantly attracted
space.
to, like, when you're anchoring, they want to go towards your mouth all the time.
I don't know what it is. It's a little bit strange.
You have this entire studio. Stay away.
All this space. Come on.
Let's
now,
just sit on my
bugs.
lips.
Yeah, they just do it to irritate us. They think it's funny. It's not funny at all. And our forecast today, boy, it's going to be another hot and humid one. Let's take a look at the range line, and you can see we've got the sunny skies. What you can't see for sure is that it's hot. It's not hot yet, sorry, but are you serious? Okay, so these lights were fixed a moment ago, and they literally just now went back to flash mode. So I'm not entirely certain what's going on at 32nd and Rangeline this morning, but this is the second time now that this has happened. Now, earlier when this happened, somebody just went right through, didn't even stop, and we're right getting into the peak of rush hour here. So if you're traveling, just avoid 32nd and Rangeline in general this morning. Now, MoDOT crews, they've been watching these cameras. They got somebody out there pretty quickly. It only took about 15 minutes. But nonetheless, if you're traveling this morning, avoid that intersection. Something's going on with those traffic lights. Nothing wrong, though, with the ones at 69 and 400 south of Pittsburgh or the ones at 7th and Rangeline. We've got sunny, clear skies, 64 in Joplin right now. A bit muggy, dew point 60. Humidity 87%. Looking at temperatures around the area, 61, Nevada, Fort Scott, 62, Iola and Yates Center, 65 Chetopa, 64 Miami, and 63 in Carthage. We get our morning started. We'll have those passing clouds. Then we'll have partly cloudy skies, isolated pop-up storms, mainly on the Missouri side this afternoon. Highs right around 90. And as we head into this evening, a mild evening, partly cloudy once those storms die out. Lows back into the upper 60s. We'll have more of the KOAM morning news right after this.
Welcome back. We've got two special youth guests joining us this morning. We have Lucy Pearson and Hayes Cobb, two 4-H members from the Wildcat District here, who are both members, teen leaders of the Pollinator Grant Project. And I'm so happy to have you guys here this morning. I know you're on your summer schedule, so you had to get up early again, but thanks for joining us. Lucy, why don't you tell us where you're from?
I'm from Labette County.
From Labette County, and where are you from?
Wilson County.
From Wilson County. Tell me a little bit about the Pollinator Grant Program itself and like what pollinators do.
So our grant is basically going out into the communities and inserting like pollinator habitats. A really big one that we're doing is in Parsons. We're installing a 7-acre native habitat for all of the pollinators that are native to our area.
Okay. Why are pollinators important?
We need pollinators to have food like blueberries, strawberries, pumpkins, chocolate, and just to name a few.
Yeah, obviously just to name a few. But if you're not familiar what a pollinator is, maybe we should do a little education here.
Oh, so pollinators are a lot more than what you just think. Like, yeah, you can think of like bumblebees and all that, but especially honeybees. A lot of people think, oh yeah, honeybees whenever you think about pollinators, but Kansas is actually home to over 400 native species of pollinators, and they're actually a lot more efficient compared to the honeybees.
And they're so important to all the crops out there, for sure. You are also working on a project that is part of a walking trail.
Yes, in Parson, we're working on a walking story for the walking trails. We're also working with the Parsons Library to make like bags for the walking trail for the kids.
So the story trail, it'll have a theme, of course, that deals with pollinators. How does that work on the walking trail?
So we're just gonna like hide like flowers and like trees all around activity. So like the kids have to go and find the trees and plants.
That's cool. That's really cool. Where are you guys at in the project of starting everything?
I think we're starting to like plan with our community leaders and just like make sure everything's ready for the 7-acre thing in the story walk. So I think when it gets a little later in the month, we're gonna start actually going out into the like areas and setting everything up, and
it's gonna be a busy summer. Yeah, for sure. Now you've got your shirt says Ignite. Tell me a little bit about Ignite.
So Ignite was this huge conference in DC that I went to. So we went to DC, and it was just so amazing because there were so many people there. There were over 900 people. They were from like Alaska, the Virgin Islands, Hawaii, like so many amazing people, so many like nice people. I don't think I met like a mean person there. And it was just so great to just see everybody like come together and work towards like a good cause of helping the environment and just learning so much in such a short amount of time.
Okay, and I understand we're almost out of time, but you got to do some training as well in Kansas City.
Yes. So we went up there, and I was everyone was pretty cool. Everyone was pretty nice. We learned about the different types of pollinators and what plants that they love, like the milkweed for the monarchs, the baby monarchs still like the little milkweed, and so it was pretty cool. We just learned a lot about pollinators and the different diversities of pollinators.
Well, I hope you guys are able to continue your education with pollinating and oh, cool.
Travel and sunflowers.
Cool, I love sunflowers. Yes, Kansas State flower. All right, well, thank you guys for coming on this morning, and good luck with the program this summer.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
4 State's most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM News on Fox 14. It is currently 7:29. The Ozark Center Hope Spring in Joplin is focusing attention on eating disorders with an upcoming art show. It's called Reflections of Hunger. It showcases lived experiences of local individuals struggling with eating disorders and body image issues. Dr. Jenny Copeland with Ozark Center is giving a preview of what viewers can expect.
And understand from their perspective their individual stories. Each of their stories, each of their illnesses, and their recovery has been very different. And I think it's important for us to hear it in their own words instead of mine.
The art show opens at 5:30 on June 29th and lasts through the 31st. It is free for everyone to attend. The Carthage Public Library kicks off its summer reading program with a picnic. Officials say the event yesterday invited people to explore the area and interact with different departments of law enforcement in attendance. Not only was there a picnic, but there were also canine demonstrations for folks to see.
You know, encouraging friendship and togetherness and cooperation. And I could not think of a better way to do that than to invite our community heroes here to the library. So our community can come and look at the fire trucks.
The picnic and canine demonstration was between the library and Central Park.
Well, just a real quick mention, the traffic signal at 32nd and Rangeline in Joplin reset itself rather quickly. MoDOT crews have been watching that camera, so if you are commuting in that area this morning, just be aware that that signal is apparently having some issues out there, so do be prepared for a potential four-way stop. Otherwise, today we're looking at a few clouds this morning, partly cloudy by late morning, muggy, low 80s, hot today, right around 90. Pop-up thunderstorms mainly on the Missouri side this afternoon, and as we've seen, we could see a stray, strong, or severe storm. Those will die out later this evening. We'll go partly cloudy, mild, upper 60s for our overnight lows, and then as we head ahead, if you're west of 69, you're probably going to make it to about 90 before some afternoon thunderstorms. If you're east of 69, morning and afternoon thunderstorms, highs in the low 80s, pop-up storms Friday, morning storms Saturday, Sunday, temperatures remaining in the 80s, and more storms on Tuesday.
Yesterday was National Drive-In Movie Day, and for a drive-in theater in Lamar, Missouri, it could be a pretty busy one. Theater is celebrating its 74th season and hopes to keep the tradition of going to the drive-in alive.
It's a place where everybody comes, you know, the community it's people come out here, you see them, or they have, they sit in their lawn chairs and they bring radios, and I've seen playpens with babies out in front, and tents, people bring tents, couches, lazy boy chairs, it's just like coming home to watch a movie on a huge screen.
74th season of the Barco Theater is dedicated to the memory of Zachary Kelly. Only one community pool will be open in Joplin despite the city owning 3. KOAM's Amber Jenkins spoke with the Parks and Rec Director about summer plans for the city's public pools.
People will compare other communities' pools, and you can't compare apples to apples. One pool, in particular, it only takes them 30 people to staff their pool.
City of Joplin is currently working on opening a splash pad at Ewart Park, and Schiffer-Decker Pool will be closed this Saturday for a swim meet. Don't forget. Joplin Union Depot's doors were open to some residents yesterday to help clean up the interior of the historic building. Joplin Downtown Alliance Clean Team wants to pay attention on cleaning up the Union Depot Railroad Station. The team invited local residents to help with that quick cleanup before the State Historic Preservation Conference comes into town today. Now, workers say it's great to finally see inside the depot while taking care of it.
So many of these people in Joplin were leaving to go to Kansas City or wherever they left, to go to war. It was out of this train station. And you don't get that with the new building that was built. And this is just, it's too amazing of a structure to let it go.
Clean team meets 2 times a month on the first Tuesday and the third Saturday to clean up areas that they think need a little extra work. Gibson recommends residents to come out and help clean up spaces in the community with a 1-hour commitment. Well, the 12th annual Commerce Days kicks off tonight at 5 and will run through Saturday. This event offers a variety of art and food vendors, as well as a carnival, live music, and even some toad and frog racing. The event is free to attend and has something for the entire family.
It's all about getting people out, getting people together, interacting with your friends, interacting with your neighbors, interacting with people that you might not normally interact with. I mean, this is a nice, safe place to do it with. Plus, like I said, there's a whole carnival going on.
The event will be held at the high school football field in Commerce. Well, this morning we're discussing mischievous animals.
Foxes, to be specific. See, these scavengers have been scavenging through Media, Pennsylvania, once again, burrowing in backyards and pulling off a familiar heist. This time, their crimes aren't as cunning. Their MO, well, they're going after shoes, baseball gloves, and newspapers.
One resident and his wife are aiming to reunite a few of those stolen objects with their original owners. Experts say, though, it's best to leave the cubs alone when it comes to any type of species, not just fox. Late spring and summer is baby season, and while mom and dad are out hunting, the cubs are having fun, so they're not so cunning thievery to them. It's just a game.
That brings us to our question for you this morning. What is your favorite animal? So far, 42% of you prefer dogs, 23% prefer cats, 10% of you like chickens and horses. Another 3%, just changed, up 6% now for foxes, 3% for the pandas. It's changing, but you get that. We've got some even numbers there, though. Every animal getting a little bit of love.
Okay, so when we ran the original story, the homeowner that has been finding all of these shoes and whatnot, he also was informing us what these socks, what sound does a fox make?
Yeah, he did. He did inform us of that.
And Chris would like to share that now.
I would not like to share that now. He made some kind of horrifying screeching sound.
But what does a fox say?
Well, according to Yelvis, lots of odd things. I'm not doing it. I'm tempted to do it, but I'm not doing it.
But we got so much time.
We do have a little bit of extra time, but they screech, okay? They go, ee, 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 whatever. What did Elvis do where he's doing the thing where okay.
Yes,
anyway,
yes. Thank you, Chris.
The foxes,
Thank
they
you.
make noises. Don't worry, they do. Probably not quite like that.
He wasn't dancing when he did it, though.
Yeah, Elvis. Oh, the guy wasn't. No. Elvis was in the music video, but that guy was not. He was just kind of screaming at the reporter. That's happened to me before, but there's usually been profanities in there, but you know.
All right, that's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News, the newest Captain American movie gets a new title.
And we've got a hot, muggy day. We're also keeping an eye on the traffic lights at 32nd and Rangeline. They've had a few technical difficulties this morning. We'll take another look at your forecast and let you know if that four-way stop appears again when the KOAM Morning News returns. Movie and music news now. We're going to hand it over to David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
I feel like we get paid a king's ransom to do a boy's job.
Anthony Mackie's first film as Captain America, originally subtitled New World Order, is now Brave New World. Marvel tweeted the change and this photo of Mackie with Harrison Ford, who's replacing the late William Hurt as Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. Captain America Brave New World is still due in theaters May 3rd, 2024. Nicki Minaj fans finally have a release date for the artist's first album in 5 years. Minaj tweeted out the date October 20th, 2023, along with emojis for a CD and a pink bow. No title yet for the disc.
This is very important. You are going to the St. Regis Hotel. Salvador Dali is there. You are going to keep an eye on him. And make sure he paints.
Oscar winner Sir Ben Kingsley stars as iconic artist Salvador Dali in Daliland. Christopher Briney plays a young assistant navigating Dali's world and trying to help him prepare for a big gallery show. Daliland opens in theaters and on demand Friday. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
A lot of great movies with that Captain America movie coming out. That Salvador Dali movie looks pretty interesting as well. We have a very hot, very muggy day for us today. Some pop-up storms expected, mainly on the Missouri side. We'll take a complete look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 7:43 on this Wednesday morning. We've got pop-up storms again in our forecast this afternoon. Now, yesterday they were primarily, not limited to, but primarily in southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma. Today they're expected to be primarily on the Missouri side. And like we've seen here the last few days, we could see a stray strong or severe thunderstorm out there. These, of course, will die out as the evening progresses, and then we'll be done with them. And then we head into our Thursday. We're going to get a bit of a split forecast here. We're expecting showers and thunderstorms as we head into Thursday morning, roughly along and to the east of Highway 69. Because we're going to get these morning thunderstorms and morning cloud cover along and east of 69, you're very likely not going to make it out of the lower 80s for your highs, but out to the west, and even back into parts of northeast Oklahoma, because you'll have plentiful sunshine and no morning thunderstorm activity, your highs are going to be pushing near 90, and then we'll start to see additional thunderstorm development take place in southeast Kansas later in the afternoon, say right around 3, 4 o'clock, and that'll bring some much more meaningful rainfall into parts of southeast Kansas, which is great news. You really need that rain out there, and then that'll clear out as the evening progresses as well. MoDOT camera 32nd and range line, the traffic signals for now are functioning the way they're supposed to, which is great news. It's also sunny and not too bad, a little muggy though. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400. Our camera 7th and range line, beautiful clear skies out there, 64, dew point 60, humidity 87%. That's making it feel quite muggy out there. You got 66 in Nevada, 65 Chanute, 66 Miami, and 61 in Neosho. We get our morning started. We're going to have a few clouds here and there. Otherwise, we'll transition to partly cloudy skies by late morning, low 80s by 11 o'clock. Highs today right around 90 degrees, partly cloudy for everybody. And then, of course, those afternoon pop-up storms mainly on the Missouri side. That's a quick check of your forecast. Now here's Tanya Bach with a check of Consumer Watch.
Well, Microsoft has agreed to pay $20 million to settle a privacy dispute. The Federal Trade Commission says the tech giant collected personal information on children through its Xbox Live gaming service and did not let parents know the full extent of the data it gathered. According to the FTC, kids under the age of 13 may have shared images, video, and audio of themselves on their account profiles, as well as their real names and logs of their activity on the platform. FTC also alleges that for years, Microsoft kept personal information of children who started to sign up for Xbox Live but never completed the process. As part of the settlement, the company has agreed to delete that data. There could soon be a major shift in how the world works, literally. About half of major global companies are planning to cut office space in the next 3 years. That's according to a survey of nearly 350 companies. This comes amid a rise in remote and hybrid work, falling property values, and rising interest rates. American cities are projected to be the most impacted, led by San Francisco. Still, some mid-level and small companies are planning to grow their footprint over the next 3 years. We'll be right back with more after this, but first let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. In Missouri, 16 maternity ward nurses who were all pregnant at the same time last year held a baby boom reunion Tuesday.
Alan Shope was there when their babies met their new friends.
means a lot to be going through it with your coworkers and your friends.
Oh baby, what a day.
Thinking of this as kind of like the first birthday party for everybody.
16 nurses in one hospital's maternity unit, all pregnant and giving birth within the same 12 months.
One of the nurses that is here with her baby, she was my personal labor and delivery nurse for this baby right here.
It's a story that, thanks to this picture, got national attention on Good Morning America. Now all the babies have been born and they showed up to take another picture.
I'm a first-time mom, and it's just amazing to have friends who can help me.
It's nice to have everyone to rely on and get mom advice. It's been really fun.
These nurses from St. Luke's East say having their own kids and sharing these stories helps them understand a little more during that pregnancy process.
As a nurse, we're naturally empathetic, but I think just going through the experience myself allowed me to kind of relate more to my patients.
There were originally 15 nurses in the picture. 16 total had babies, 10 boys, 6 girls.
We've come a long way. It's been fun to be pregnant with all these ladies, and now we get to watch our kids grow up together.
And even when we're not working, we hang out with each other with our babies.
These babies are such good friends now.
I do remember that story from last year. That was absolutely incredible. It was just kind of wild. People were asking, what are they putting in the water up there? Yeah.
What did they do when they all went on maternity?
I do not know. That must have been some tough shifts to fill up there.
No kidding.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got ourselves, as we've been mentioning, another hot and humid day today, and we have another round of pop-up thunderstorm chances as well. So on the future track, we head into this afternoon. We'll start to see a few of those pop-up thunderstorms out there. Now, yesterday, they were primarily in southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma. Today, they're expected to be primarily in southwest Missouri. That's not to say we couldn't see a stray shower out to the west, but most of the activity will be isolated and confined to the Missouri side of things. And there's that remote chance that we could see a stray, strong, possibly severe thunderstorm out there. Now, as we head into tomorrow, we're getting two different forecasts. If you're west of 69, you're going to make it up to about 90 degrees for your high for southeast Kansas back into northeast Oklahoma. And if you're east of 69, we'll have some morning showers, thunderstorms, and cloud cover, and that'll keep our highs in the low 80s. So a good chunk of it's still getting pretty hot tomorrow, but don't worry, southeast Kansas. Your rain is coming by 3, 4 o'clock. Organized batches of showers and thunderstorms across the area, bringing some much needed rainfall, and this will hold on through about 8, 9 o'clock before it does eventually wrap up, but some great much needed rainfall. Unfortunately, it's just out here, you're going to get a little bit hotter than those to the east do because you're not going to get in on those morning thunderstorm chances, and then we'll see more pop-up storm chances as we head into our Friday. MoDOT camera 32nd and range line, we're looking good so far there. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400, plentiful sunshine. Our camera 7th and range line, beautiful start to the day, clear blue skies. 64, bit muggy, dew point 60, humidity 87%. Temperatures around the region, not looking too bad. 66 Nevada, 65 Chanute, Iola, Neodesha, 66 Miami, and 61 in Neosho. We get our morning started. We'll have those mostly clear skies, go partly cloudy by late morning. Temperatures pushing into the lower 80s by 11. We'll have more on your complete forecast and the news you need to know right after this.
The news you need to know before you head out the door. Only one community pool will be open in Joplin despite the city owning 3. Schifferdecker Pool will be the only public pool open this summer, but the pool is only partially open due to a lifeguard shortage. 60 guards are needed to fully open Schifferdecker. Joplin currently has 29 and 34 more in training. And while the community waits for qualified lifeguards, the city of Joplin wants to remind everyone that it can only work with what they have, and that not every community is the same. Joplin Union Depot's doors are open to some residents yesterday to clean up the interior of the historic building. Joplin Downtown Alliance Clean Team wanted to pay attention to cleaning up the Union Depot Railroad Station. The team invited local residents to help with a quick cleanup before the State Historic Preservation Conference comes to town today, and workers say it's great to finally see inside the depot and get to take care of it. And yesterday was National Drive-In Movie Day for the for a drive-in theater in Lamar, Missouri. It was a pretty busy one. The theater is celebrating its 74th season and hopes to keep the tradition of going to the drive-in alive.
All right, we're hot, we are muggy, temperatures right around 90, partly cloudy this afternoon. Some pop-up thunderstorms mainly on the Missouri side this afternoon into the early evening. They will stay partly cloudy overnight and mild back into the upper 60s. We'll have those thunderstorms tomorrow with the mixed high temperatures, low 80s on Friday, pop-up storms, morning storms Saturday and Sunday, and then more thunderstorm chances as we head into Tuesday of next week.
Well, with the weather warming up, what better time is there to celebrate National Chocolate Ice Cream Day Wednesday?
Today is that day. Chocolate flavored ice cream has been around America for more than 100 years. It's the second most common flavor right after vanilla.
It's my #1 least favorite flavor.
Oh, well, I'm going to have to leave then.
I do not like chocolate ice cream.
I love chocolate ice cream.
I've never liked it, and it doesn't change. I'll eat a chocolate candy bar, but I cannot eat anything that's like liquid chocolate.
Interesting.
And it's, you know, even though it's frozen, but it's still liquid chocolate. Yeah.
Interesting.
You can enjoy the day with a chocolate ice cream cone or sundae, maybe with sprinkles, syrup, whipped cream, or cookies.
If you're not Tanya Bach, you can enjoy the day with those things. See, when I was a kid,
there's several flavors of ice cream I like, just not chocolate.
It was chocolate cake, chocolate icing, chocolate ice cream for my birthday. Always chocolate.
And I love chocolate cake.
Just not.
Yeah.
Okay.
No
Interesting. Interesting.
Don't ever give me an ice cream cake.
I will not.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great morning and an even better day.